Have you ever felt like your own brain is your worst enemy? Like you're so busy thinking and planning and weighing all the options that you never actually get anything done? Well, you are definitely not alone, and it might just be because you're a little too smart for your own good. Let's dig into that.
I know. That's a pretty intense question, right? We're always taught that being smart is the key to everything. But what if that very intelligence, your amazing ability to see every single angle, every potential problem, every possible outcome, what if that's the very thing holding you back? While other people just pick a path and start moving, you're stuck at the starting line, trying to calculate the absolute perfect route.
I just love this quote because it captures that feeling perfectly. It's like you're on a treadmill in your mind. You're sweating, you're putting in the effort, you feel totally exhausted by the end of the day, but then you look around and realize you haven't gone anywhere. You've been thinking, not doing. All that incredible mental energy just burned up without taking a single real step forward.
So this whole phenomenon, it actually has a name, and it's a trap that so many intelligent, capable people fall into all the time. It's called analysis paralysis. Let's break down exactly what that means.
The most important word is right there in the name, paralyzed. You analyze so much that you literally can't move. You gather all the information, you make endless spreadsheets, you run through a million what-if scenarios, and the sheer volume of it all makes it impossible to choose. The fear of making the wrong decision gets so big that you just default to making no decision at all.
Okay, so how does this actually happen in real life? It's usually not just one big problem. It's more like a series of smaller, connected traps that our own brains lay for us. We're going to look at the three biggest ones that keep us stuck in that cycle of mental cardio. So first, there's the trap of having way too many options, where every single path looks kind of viable. Then, second, there's this illusion of false progress, where we trick ourselves into feeling productive when we're not. And third, maybe the biggest one, is that deep down fear of failure that stops us from even starting. Let's tackle these one by one.
This is the classic curse of a capable mind, isn't it? You can map out 10 different ways to reach your goal. And for every single path, you can see all the pros, all the cons, the risks, the rewards. The problem is, when every option has its own unique good stuff, choosing just one feels like you're actively losing out on the good stuff from the other 9. And so, you choose none of them.
Now this slide is so important because of the distinction it makes. Researching, planning, learning, it all feels like work, right? It feels productive. And, maybe most importantly, it feels safe. There's no risk of failure when you're just reading one more article. But doing, actually building the thing, making the phone call, launching the website, that feels risky. But here's the thing, it's the only way to gather real-world data on what actually works.
And this brings us to the trap that's probably the most personal. We like to call it perfectionism, almost like it's a badge of honor. But let's be totally honest with ourselves. It's really just a deep fear of looking stupid. We would rather not try at all than try and fail where other people can see us. So we delay, we wait for the perfect time or the perfect plan, because if it's perfect, nobody can criticize it. It's a shield we make out of doing nothing.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. We know we're stuck in mental cardio, we're caught in these three traps. But the way out is all about shifting our focus from thinking to a much more powerful force, execution. Let's talk about how to actually break this cycle.
This is such a brilliant way to picture the shift we need to make. Think about it. Your intelligence, your ideas, your talent, that's all just potential energy. It's like a fully charged battery, packed with power, but it's just sitting there. It's not doing anything until you flip the switch. Execution, that's the kinetic energy. It's the power you actually put into motion.
And this is the core truth you have to remember. A person with a pretty good idea who actually executes it will always beat the genius with a perfect idea who's still stuck in the planning phase. And why is that? Because the person who acts gets feedback. They learn, they adapt. The person who only thinks, they stay at zero. Forever.
So how do we make this real? How do we go from just understanding this idea to actually living it? Well, it all comes down to changing the question you ask yourself. It's all about taking one small, immediate step.
Seriously, forget about the 5-year strategy for a minute. Forget about trying to optimize every single detail before you start. Just look at your goal and ask yourself this incredibly simple, powerful question. What is one tiny, concrete action I can take in the next 10 minutes that will move me even 0.1% closer to my goal? The answer to that question, that's your starting point.
Ultimately, this is what it all boils down to. The world doesn't reward you for what you know. It rewards you for what you do.
So the next time you feel your brain spinning up into that familiar cycle of overanalysis, just hear this message in your head. Close the tabs, put down the notepad, and just take one small step. Stop thinking, start doing.